Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'll just do a random video, completely random. 10 films to get to know me. So these are just 10 random, these are not necessarily my favourite films. Some are, but not all of them. They're just films that I really have an affinity for and feel that they kind of get to know me with them, really. Like, you get to know my tastes in films and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into this one. The first choice on this list is going to be just one that has to be on here because it is my favourite film of all time. Godzilla 1954. This is, yeah, my favourite film of all time. I think it's like an absolute masterpiece of 50s cinema. I love the suitmation is outstanding. The miniatures look great. The characters are engaging and you kind of care for them in it, and it's got one of the most badass, just killer cinematic weapons of all time in the oxygen destroyer. I think everything about this film is just massively done. A lot of people kind of joke about Godzilla and say, like, you know, oh yeah, it's just a man in a suit, but you know, I can't imagine how the hardships of acting in a suit and how hot it must be in those suits. But the whole thing about this movie, it's just got this bleak and just disparity to it that is just thick and just like really bleak, and that just adds to the movie. Godzilla comes across as a force of nature in this movie, and I love it to pieces. It's always on my rewatch list all the time, and I think everyone should check it out. It is one of the best films from the 50s in my opinion, if not the best film. It's one of the greatest films ever made. I love this movie, and yeah, I think everyone should give it a chance. Sure, it's in black and white, it's in Japanese with subtitles, but I generally think that the film is that good that you'll put those things aside and check it out. It is my favourite film of all time. It is a masterpiece. So yeah, that's the first one on the list. Next up is The Raid. Not number 2, the first one. Yeah, The Raid for me, when it comes to just vicious fight scenes in a movie, this is top. It is just brutal. The fights, the martial art fight scenes in this are just non-stop, just brutality. This is my favourite action film of all time, which some people will go, what about Die Hard? It used to be Die Hard. Then I saw this movie and I'm just like, yeah, this film takes the cake, man. This is the one. I just think everything about it is just superbly done. The fight choreography is amazing. Yeah, the characters, you kind of care about all the characters. There's a couple other films that kind of take from this. You've got the Dread movie from 2012, that kind of has that whole tower block scenario. And there's a really underrated French zombie film called La Horde, which is also very similar to this, where they're in a tower block. But yeah, this is where it started. The Raid, what a outstanding action film, and it is the most kind of like, when you watch those fight sequences, you feel every punch, you feel every kick, you feel every stab. It is brutal, and that's what I love about this movie. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. It's a fucking great film. Love it. Next up is what I would consider to be the most underrated science fiction film ever, really. Yeah, I just think no one talks about this movie in time. I love the concept. The concept is immense. Yeah, basically, once you hit, like, I think it's once you hit the age of 25, you've got 30 years to live, and that becomes your currency. So when you go to work, you're not paid with money. You're paid with time. You add to your life. The film's about this rich man who is people are out to get him, to kill him. So he transfers all his life time to this guy, and then the guy, this rich guy, kills himself, and then you've got this really good adventure sci-fi movie where a bunch of people are after this guy because he's got like infinite time. He's got like, he can live forever, more or less. So yeah, it's such an underrated movie, and people kind of turn it down because it's got Justin Timberlake in it. I think Justin Timberlake does a wonderful job in this movie. I think his acting's really decent, actually. I just think this is a really good movie. I really enjoy it. It's one of those films where I'd recommend anyone to watch it. I think I think it's really good movie. So yeah, I'll check it out in time. What a movie. Next up, I think I would say, yeah, Batman '89 with Michael Keaton. To me, it's the definitive Batman movie. Sure, the Dark Knight trilogy is a lot of people's favourites with Christian Bale, but I hated Christian Bale as Batman. I thought it was an awful Batman. But that's just me. I liked Ben Affleck in Batman v Superman as Batman, as a pissed off Batman. But as soon as they kind of like made him into this like it's like light-hearted jokester in Justice League, it kind of ruined that Batman for me. But yeah, Michael Keaton in '89, to me it's the Batman film of all Batman films. I think the tone is there, that gothic tone is right on point. I think Jack Nicholson is incredible as the Joker. That moment where he had his face all kind of like he's had the surgery on his face, and he looks in the mirror and he just laughs. That is just Joker. That's 100% Joker for me. Yeah, Jack Nicholson as Joker, I think, is amazing. Michael Keaton, I think he's pretty decent as Batman. Questionable as Bruce Wayne, but I think it's very hard to kind of juggle those two personas. But I think just as a Batman movie, the visuals, the tone, everything about it, Batman '89 is, I think, spot on. And yeah, it's what I think of when someone says Batman to me. It's just fucking, I love it. I love it so much. Oh, it has the best Batmobile in any Batman film. Period. It's a fact. Sorry, it's not my opinion, but I'm going to use it as a fact because it's fucking awesome. Next up is Critters 2. I have a big affinity for creature features, man. Like, I love like little monsters or giant monsters running amok and causing absolute devastation. I love it. And Critters 2 is probably my favourite when it concerns small little monsters causing mayhem. I remember being a little kid, about 10 years old. This scared the life out of me when I was a kid. But I've grown up and I just love it now. I think it's probably the best, you know, small kind of creature features out there. It gets a lot of comparison to Gremlins. I think they couldn't be more different to Gremlins, really. These little furballs that eat people. Like, Gremlins didn't really eat people. They would attack you, but they wouldn't eat you. But yeah, Critters 2, I think it's a really good creature feature. It's one of my favourites. I think it's one of those rare sequels that step it up and is better than the first movie. Even though the first film has a really big soft spot for me, because I think I've watched that one the most, but I think I do still prefer the sequel. It amps up everything. There's more Krites. There's more Krite mayhem. It's obviously the first one is just a little farmhouse that gets taken over by like maybe 8 Krites. In this, there's like maybe at least 50 Krites, and it's a whole town that gets taken over. It ups the ante, as a sequel should. Yeah, one of my favourite creature features, and I do have a life-size Krite replica coming very soon. I'm going to be doing an unboxing on the channel for that because I can't wait. I spent way too much money on it, but I cannot wait to get it in my hands and basically have it on display and have its glowing red eyes looking at me at night, and I'm going to think it's going to want to eat me. But it's a Krite. It's my own pet Krite. It's just going to be fine. But yeah, Critters 2. Really love that movie. If you know me at all from you know, previous videos and whatnot, I have a massive love, and I mean a massive love, for the Evil Dead remake from 2013. I think it is, when it comes to horror remakes, it's top of the pile for me. I think everything about it takes wonderful homage to the original. It's gory as fuck. These kids in this film get brutalized beyond belief. Like, it's so brutal. Yeah, I just think let's put it this way. I tend to put this on more than the original because I like this a bit more. Kill me in the comments. I don't care, you can. It's fine. But yeah, I love this movie so much. And it's always going to be a rewatch at Halloween. It's always going to be a rewatch, even when it's not Halloween, because it's that good. In the cinema, when I saw it, when it came out, it was just, I came out with a massive smile on my face. I thought it was great. There's no downside to it. The only downside for me really, if there is a downside, I'm just going to pick one now, is that the teacher character with the beard and the glasses reading out the fucking book. Why would you do that? He's telling you don't speak it, don't think it, don't do anything, and then he goes out and he fucking reads it. Of course shit is going to happen, right? Of course stuff's going to go bad. But you need that kind of stupidity to have a horror film, to have people being killed in brutal ways. Evil Dead does that. I love this film. It's a wonderful, wonderful movie, and I think it's one of the best horror remakes ever. And I think more people should give it a go. This next one is a no-brainer. This one is Emperor Strikes Back. Star Wars, the best Star Wars in my opinion. I think it just ups everything compared to the original. Yeah, it makes the Empire seem like a dangerous force, which it should do because the Empire is the Empire. And yeah, I just think it has the greatest twist in cinematic history. I would say the twist, but people get really pissed off about spoilers, even though it's a spoiler for like a 30-year-old movie. But, you know, it is what it is. Whatever. It has the best twist in cinematic history. It leaves you just be like, what the fuck's going to happen now? But yeah, it's just everything about it's wonderful. Practical effects, the visuals. It's one of the most, you know, stunningly looking films ever made, in my opinion. And yeah, it's just brilliant. I love it. I love it to pieces. Yeah, one of the best ones ever. I do this Blu-ray is the despecialized edition, so it's as close as the theatrical version as possible. I've also got Star Wars and Return of the Jedi as well as despecialized versions. Yeah, but in theory, Empire Strikes Back probably had the least change to it, but it's cool to have it in this cool little kind of like despecialized version with the coolest artwork going, I think. Yeah, the original poster artwork is just killer. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back is that. We're down to what, 3? Down to 3. This next one is going to be I Saw the Devil, a Korean revenge movie, and it happens to be my favourite revenge movie of all time. The story is basically a psycho killer is on the loose. He kills a pregnant girl who happens to be a fiance of this former police officer. It's like FBI agent guy, whatever you want to call him. He takes it in his own hands to hunt this guy down and cause his life, basically make his life a misery. And it is the most goddamn fucking affecting, brutal, just really some wincing moments. It's so brutal. It's so effective as a revenge film. It's kind of those revenge movies where you side with the cop guy, with the detective guy, but by the end of the movie you kind of feel sorry for the serial. It's weird. You kind of feel sorry for the serial killer at the end. It's that affecting where you kind of like your morals are just kind of like you question your moral fabric with this movie, and I think that's why it's so effective as an amazing revenge film. I Saw the Devil is immense. I highly recommend you watch it. It's so good. This one's no brainer. I don't have it separate to hold, but it's the original Alien from 1979. One of the greatest sci-fi, horror, haunted house, whatever you want to call it, movies. It's one of the best, in my opinion. It has that slow burn, which for me anyway kind of like makes that film what it is. It builds that suspense. It makes you kind of like hold that fucking cushion on the couch tight. You ain't got a clue what's going to go on. The Xenomorph monster is one of the most terrifying, if not the most terrifying movie monster of all time, and I would not want to be in an air vent duct with it. Thank you very much. I've played enough of Alien Isolation to know that how scary that is. That is horrifying. Yeah, I just think it's everything about this film. I love it. The acting, the characters, the set design, the monster himself. Yeah, everything is wonderful. The twist with Ash is just really kind of brutal and kind of like really hard to watch when he's trying to kill Ripley. It's just everything about this original Alien movie is a masterpiece in horror. You know, a friend of mine brought this up. He said Alien's a weird one. It's like a sci-fi horror with the tropes of a slasher movie. I highly agree with that. It's incredibly good, and I highly recommend everyone, if you haven't seen it. Everyone tends to pick Aliens over this, but I will disagree. I think Alien is better. But yeah, Alien is that other one. But final movie, this I can't tell you how much I love this film. Just so you know, I love this film to pieces. Me and my friends, we quote this film. This film is so quotable. I love this movie. We're laughing. We're pretty much holding our sides in laughter quoting this movie. It's one of my favourite animated films of all time. It's Big Hero 6. I went and saw this film on Valentine's Day when it came out. It was just a random pick, like me and the girlfriend. Let's go and see this movie. We came out and we were like, we loved that movie. It was great. It's Baymax is so funny. It's so entertaining. The story is so heartwarming. It kind of melts my heart at the end. It almost makes me tear up. Man tears everywhere. This film is just like one of the best animated films for me. It's better than Frozen. It's better than Toy Story. It's better than most of the Disney animated films, I think. I think it's one of the best they've made. And I love it. I love it to pieces. I get some anime vibes in there as well with the main villain with the kind of Kimiko mask or whatever it's called. I just think it's a lovely, wonderful movie, and I think everyone should watch it because it's heartwarming. It's great if you've got children. It's funny. It makes me laugh out loud. It's so funny, and yeah, I think everyone would love it. I think it's a film for everyone. It's great. So that is 10 films to get to know me. Kind of like gauge my taste in movies, I suppose, but there's so many more I could talk about on this channel. But yeah, if you like this, you can subscribe, you can punch that like button, hit the notification bell to be notified for more videos by me, and yeah, until then, I'm Jason, I'm out, goodbye.